afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, amazing, spectacular Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, here outside, Defender of the Fatherland, your Lord and Master. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on Kholodny Ferma in the west. It's Jove fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the rule of the 9th Panzer Division West in the East. It's creative name, or CN, fighting for King and Country, the Commonwealth. Rolling out here with the 7th Armoured Division, the Desert Rats, using Mobile Assault Regiment, forming up commando support to back up his advance against the Jerrys. Jove with Jaeger armor, spearhead, and assault support, triple infantry bulletins on both sides, but no doctrine yet here for Jove. Sandbags here, right next to the house, in case the opponent occupies, you can't use it against him, because here CN, those racing for the other house, which also tends to be crucial for the western side. There's the house in the what I call compartment, since this sort of forms up a nice little compartment, which can be very threatening due to being easily defensible, particularly against a player in the west. And usually that means you can also threaten the fuel point in the west quite easily. So this is sort of a nasty development here for Jove, but it seems like Jove here is actually not concerned with it. He's sort of focusing more centre-south here with his forces, which is a bit interesting that we do get one Grenadier squad spreading northwards. That's a bit more risky, to be honest, versus the British, since the Wehrmacht Grenadiers, for example, one-on-one versus an infantry section, tend not to do well. You want the machine gun to back it up. In fact, the machine gun, obviously, in my opinion anyways, is very crucial for the Grenadiers performing well. So this feels a bit more dangerous, to be honest, for Jove, but this is Jove, and he's obviously a better player than me. But, you know, this is my opinion. Second Grenadier squad on the way there, though, for Jove. Moving south for two of the Pioneers, 74-2, they're covering up. So again, the way Jove is approaching this map is definitely a bit different from the usual approach. CN, by the way, there, going for the Vickers machine gun. Very nice approach there. Certainly, I think some British players tend to underestimate the Vickers, and again, tend to use it very statically. But I do feel to agree, just like the Wehrmacht, you kind of want to use your Vickers machine gun to back up your troops on the move. But obviously, it's less necessary due to the British infantry sections being really, really tough and really, really good, but to an extent I do feel like they benefit from it. Grabbing the northern fuel, but there you go, trying to harass the Coh point. CN playing a bit coy around the northern fuel point. He's sort of dithering up, not dithering, he's sort of floating about there, hovering, sort of presenting a threat, but he's not necessarily committing to it, because he knows he can still tie down a lot of forces by just presenting the threat rather than actually exerting it, and that way he can sort of preserve his own manpower at the same time. So there are some mind games going on here, and certainly mind games are a crucial part of warfare. At least, you know, the pixelated kind. Sandbags up here by the southern victory point. Note these set up there. Section ring in there. Third Grenadier squad for Jove. Sandbags here as well from CN. Both sides sandbagging. Machine gun though can't quite see, nor can, well, it can actually reach, but again it can't see. That's crucial. But there you go. Caught here by the MD4 to the Pioneers, right into spot for the MD4 southern resource being cut off here, and again you can see why I laid down the sandbags here because of this exact kind of scenario there. From CN, he is prepared. Section moving northwards, going for the northern victory point here. A bit of sort of back and forth here. Neither player really committing to any big assaults or big maneuvers. But we can see here, as soon as Jove had broke through in the south, he is swiftly moving in with the Pioneers and MD4, seizing upon any opportunity to disrupt his opponent's resources. Up north here, Grenadiers for the sections. Need to move the Grenadiers here, I think, as fast as possible. Coh point here in the centre secured. Section that can fight against the Grenadiers. Got the southern fuel point there, machine heading northwards to back up around the centre. He's not too worried there, that's clearly not as big intent. Grenadiers suppressed by the Vickers, which CN is snug in there. Again, aggressive machine gun play to back up his troops. Nice play there, we can see there now. Joe is not kindly realising he's not caring about our way, going for the section here instead, leading himself up to being flanked by the Vickers machine gun. Sandbags up by the northern fuel point. Right here, section being pushed back by the MD4 and the Grenadiers. Some intense action in the early game. Jove has yet to take up. Section right here, but still got the Vickers now, which he's going to have to deal with one way or the other. Almost got the southern fuel, and there we go. He's actually got control of the southern fuel point. Laying down S-mines as well, had to make it harder for CN to rush it, noting he has taken up. Well, he is taking up. He's going for the Massacre as well. That's going to be a bit delayed. Interesting set over the S-mines. Might have wanted to place a bit differently. Either way, S-mines will require minesweepers and all that here from CN to deal with. Machine gun moving back here to support in the south. Almost done with the S-mines, at least as many as he can. So that'll be interesting there. Doesn't quite cover the fuel point, but it does make it a bit harder here for CN to maneuver about without sappers with minesweepers. And certainly without the manpower at the moment, he's actually going to be a bit delayed there. So the S-mines here could slow him down for a bit. More trout here for Joe as well. Probably deal with the machine gun in here so far. Joe, those quickly turning around the match here. Bit rough and a bit early game, but again, I think a clear sight and overall good playing around their CN strengths, because while the British are very strong in sort of your head-on engagements and direct engagements, they do tend to struggle a bit more with a smarter player, try to just pin them down and then play around their sort of I would say less maneuverable force, and that's kind of think what's happened here. Though we got bolted sections up here for CN now, and machinery position. I think he might be sensing there's a mortar in the way he's just expecting it. I'm going to see nothing happening here, so expecting a mortar to try and deal with it is not a bad idea. Or there might have been something else he's worried about. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can deal with this. By the way, Universal on the move here. Wasp for CN. And the 7th Armoured Gun is being scorched by the Wasp flamethrower vehicle. Northern Victor Point being seized there by CN section. Section then watch by the curve point. Bit of a standoff there. Gunnery is being horribly burned here by the Wasp, as it was known. Back here we got the AC being requisitioned. They're not quite there. Pantherfast and the Universal Carrier is going to take it up. Make loose the Grenadiers. Close one there for Jove. Would have been a bit unpleasant in the early game to lose a Grenadier squad. He could try and Ralph Grenade it here. Now that's exactly what it's going to be doing. That can usually do the finishing. Oh, it got abandoned. It got abandoned. But there you go, finished off, and some corpse got catapulted through the sky. Still, no sappers yet here for Sienna again. Trying to grab this is going to be more tricky than he wants it to be. Not impossible though. Like to make a nice company going for Jove and the 9th Panzer Division. Very good. Northern point being secured here. Machine gun remains on watch here. Jove's mortar might be figuring into there. Sienna's moving the machine gun again. In the south, machine being assaulted by section. Flanked here, moving in through the south to get the fuel point back. This actually means Jove has a good chance of getting a fuel lead over CN. This is obviously quite helpful. Savage on the way there for CN finding. Oh, we could see a section wipe. Not fast enough. There goes section trying to flank, but forgot about the mines. Took another loss there. Not quite a full wipe, but quite unpleasant there. If the machine gun managed to stop the forced retreat, he could end up retreating through more S-mines, causing a full wipe here. But it seems like the second machine was not quite fast enough. As an actually on the run, has to fully retreat here. Up north, fighting going on. Machine gun with the section. Mortar fire slide going to ring down there from Joe's mortar, and we got the 2-2 on the way. CN, due to the fuel loss, is going to be some time off from any potential armoured car counters. Still, Joe will be getting a nice chunk of fuel here over his opponent. Machine gun almost taken out there by Joe's Conradin effort. Troops are reinforcing healing. Fun fact, despite what we considered a medium mortar, it was actually by the Germans considered a heavy mortar. Apparently even up to 1944, despite it since being replaced by an actual heavy mortar, the Germans still designated it seemingly as a heavy mortar, at least looking at some organizational charts, for example, for the 10th SS, showing, for example, in mortar half-tracks, they designated it as a heavy mortar. But I don't think the Germans actually have mortared actual heavy mortars, so that means that the 8cm mortar, which by an early stage of the war was actually considered a heavy mortar, was still, at least in terms of terminology, considered a heavy mortar, which is a bit interesting. Anyways, back here, healing enforcement going on for Jove, no upgrades yet. No light machine guns. We'll have to see what that ends up with here for Jove and the 9th Panzer Division. Which, as a fun fact, actually had universal carriers from Dunkirk in it. A bunch of them were converted into tank destroyers with panzer strikes mounted on them. Officer, ooh, hello, and assault support for Joe, but the officer, that's not very fun. Bit of an overlooked unit, but actually quite good if you know how to use it. Particularly the tactical or the contracted fire ability is actually very strong, since it boosts not just infantry but vehicles, which, if done correctly, can actually give you a notable boost. Plus, of course, the free smoke barrage is solid, and the heavy mortar barrage there is also very good. Sam's there under fire. March was, of course, cleared out most of Joe's S-mines there, if not all of them. Also laid down mines in return, not a bad idea there. Section round about the 2-2 AC almost down there for CN. Joe back on the defensive here against CN and the Tommies, the Inselhafen.
Damned enemies tried to take a point from us.
4 kills, close to veteran 1 on the mortar, very good. Sap is there, close to the mine. That was actually pretty risky there for CN. If that 2-2 set off the mine, that would have been rather unpleasant. AC out here for CN. I'm guessing Joe's starting to where there's an AC inbound, which in fact there is. Finding around the car pond again. Not enough defense to hold it off, so there you go, straight for it. Assault is moving in here for the south. Machine gun taking a direct hit from the AC and immediately almost gets fully wiped here. Machine gun have to retreat, gun is moving in. Like will Pantherfast here, due to the narrow environments, make it a bit harder to quickly get away. Pantherfast off here, 4th section almost down there for CN and the Commonwealth. AC down to half health. He's trying to use the 2-2 range to sort of deal enough damage. Fuel point cut off there. Heavy and aggressive harassment from both players. Absolutely outstanding work. He could just consider calling in a smoke screen on the AC. That way he can't shoot his officer. And again, it's completely free, so then there's no penalty in that sense unless he intends to attack you with a 2-2 from another angle, which seems to be the case. In which case, obviously, not public smoke makes sense. You could, by the way, try and use the officer's concentrated fire to boost the rate of fire of the 2-2. That way, to allow it to do more damage to the AC. That's an option. Seems not to be the case. Up north here, Pioneers versus the Vickers machine gun fuel pandemic cut away from Jove. He has cut off CN's fuel again. He's running northwards. Panzer going to be on the way here for Joe. We'll have to see if it's going to be a Panzerschreck, and just part of me might expect that, simply due to that he's got the opposite, which kind of works like assault infantry, but also he has no Pack 40, so I mean, at this stage, Panzer Grenadiers kind of makes sense. Also, he's not upgraded any of his Grenadiers, so again, Panzerschrecks. Now, I've been seeing a slight influx here lately of Panzerschrecks among some players, so it might be that Joe's going to try and test it out again. Still, Jove, bit struggling in resources versus CN at the moment. Panzer Grenadiers out, and there we go. We got the Panzerschreck option. Basically has more burst damage compared to Pack 40. Does 240 damage with both rockets compared to the 160 damage of the Pack 40. On the other hand, they do take a bit longer to reload, but still, I think in the long term have more DPS going on for them. And more importantly, they don't quite have as much range. Though, of course, on the other side, they're more flexible. They're not as easily outmaneuvered by a vehicle. You know, can just circle around a pack. That's it. But the Panzerschrecks, you can't really do that. So the Panzerschrecks do have the advantages here and there, depending on how you use them. Plus, of course, you can stop them stuff in the building. While being cut here, there's something being planned, but I'll wait routed. Panzerjäger's moving in with the Raketen Panzerbüchse, firing an 88mm rocket, which could more or less, I think, pierce most, if not all, tanks in the war. I think it would pierce like something like 200 to 300mm of armor. But yeah, not huge range, and they do take a bit to fire. But still can be effective. Okay, troops enemy enforcing. Officer charging at the section here, he pops, well, diversion on himself. He actually boosts the sections or the officer's ability. Makes it hard to kill him. Importantly, also boosts the offensive firepower. So the section he should go down to the officer with his Luger. And of course, the supporters there with the MP40s. There you go, winning engagement. Nice use there. Panzerjäger's being pushed back to the sections. For now, AC retreats. Fighting in the center between Grenadiers and the section. CM there pushing in nicely versus Jove. Mortar fire raining down. Mortar needs to get out of there though. And we got take up for Joe. Say good, say good. Might be also be seeing an awful blitz to provide him with additional fuel. We shall see. Nice hit there. And artillery called in the machine gun position here by some of CN's infantry. Very nice work in the south. Joe once more pushing for the fuel point there, keeping up pressure versus CN, and again looking to ensure his opponent doesn't get too much fuel ahead of him, since versus the British in particular, that can get very dangerous due to their faster tech tree and lower tech costs overall. Troops are healing and enforcing. Should probably prioritise getting the bomber cop as soon as possible. Panzer Grenadiers occupying the church, ready to block down any vehicle movements. Inch enough, he's not going straight for the fuel this time around, but he can easily go for it soon with both units. Got the officer moving ahead here, Veteran to 1, which of course gives him access to the heavy mortar barrage. A reasonably effective ability, but does tend to get it overlooked at times. But again, well aimed, it can be quite disruptive. Oh, he's standing right next to the mine. Don't worry, man. I've inspected. Oh, my God. Mine kidneys. Section moving in, machine gun as well. Officers down, so he can, well, he can actually use the ability still. I guess they changed that. But he could call in artillery or smoke, or in this case, he pops diversion into enough. There you go, calls in smoke as well. On the position of the officer, that's actually pretty clever. I don't think he can maintain the position. Grenadiers on watch, firing over the centre here. Sappers with flamethrowers out here for CN, noting that's actually really the only time we've seen them use the doctrine for now. There's been no sign of anything else. Oh, Panzerfaust here, Panzerjäger's nearby. Should be able to get off some good hits on the AC and take it out, but I'm surprised there's been no commandos as of yet here from him. And the AC pops down there, taken out by the Raketen Panzerbüchse. Machine gun dealing here with advancing infantry, also getting shot at by another machine gun. Panzer's pushing back the sappers there up north. Heavy push here from CN with a lot of sections. No grenades here yet. But of course, there's a potential utility to flush out the Germans of the house, or clear out the house with the Germans in it. Almost got the machine gun there. In fact, cleared it out with the gun leads on the field point there. Nice work by Jove. Up north section moving in there. Back here, reinforcement healing. Still on the support core here for Jove. Is he planning tier 4? That'd be bold, but I suppose not impossible. He should then be faster about it. But there you go. Fuel point of his opponent cut off. Nope, we got the support core going up. CN has got his own company command post up as well. Jove should be able to get out Panther 4 first, giving out the tank edge there for a brief while anyways. Machine gun recruit, leaving just a few men there to grab the point. Troops reinforcing healing. And of course with the Panther able to support the Panther 4 as well, I mean Jove should have some reasonable edges against enemy armour. In that regard, CN might want to somehow prioritise taking out the Panzerjägers before it becomes a bigger problem. Troops are healing, reinforcing, fixing up the 222. Light machine guns up, Panther on the way there for Jove and the 9th Panzer Division. Not that Jove's been making much use of the docks now. We've seen no cargo trucks, so no strafing or anything like that. I imagine they'll see at some point will go for the land matters, since that tends to be very much a common British choice. If they got the doctrine, they go for that one. But some commandos would be helpful, I think, for him. Good assault infantry, obviously. And again, he's got a lot of infantry already, plus the sappers, so commandos would probably be pushing it a bit. Victory points wise, Jove does have a lead here with CN, 427 versus 330. Panzerjägers moving against the section here. No munitions over a bang grenade to flash them out, so that's good here, finding on the northern point. No smoke, maybe consider that when he got the M42 moving in to help deal with the Tommies, the Inslaffen. But he definitely needs one to back up things here. Panther 4 those arriving, that should certainly turn the tide in the far north. CN's ready with a 6-pounder gun. So finding the south with the machine gun. We got Canadians moving up with Pioneer support, lots of light machine guns. Rushing for the centre there, Panther 4 inbound. There we go, dealing with the second moving up the flank, very nice. And a full retreat here from CN in the north, as he has absolutely no way of stopping a Panther 4 there. Cromwell away though here for the British and the 7th Armoured Division, the Desert Rats. Grabbing the centre victory point. And we got an Noble Blitz outfit here, so that's 2 doctrine abilities used. Could certainly help him with fuel and munitions. Both of which would be, I think, quite helpful there for Jove and the 9th. Using the mortar to secure the point, considerable blitz here, but again more fuel and munitions at the same time. Well, we might of course want the fuel points to get that way, just push out a lot more fuel, so that way overwhelm his opponent. But it does look like he's going to set up here for fuel and munitions. Yup. So that should help a bit in the longer run here versus opponent. Very cost efficient, since cash is now cost 250 and the blitz is 200, and of course gives them both fuel and munitions if it's on a regular point. So certainly a very good investment there for Jove in the long run. Pioneers for the section to the south. Cromwell sending out here for CS or CN, not CS. Pioneers engaged with the Cromwell tank. Canadians officers moving about here. 3 kills close to Bethany 2, very nice. And the Pioneers routed Canadians will also like to have the full fact soon in the face of CN's medium tank. Will CN go for fuel cash, or will we try and run down the upper blitz? Only time will tell. Panzer Grenadier out, closing intervention to 1. Surprisingly hapless infantry section there with their assault rifles and their rocket launchers, and there you go, firing the church, mortar firing down here in the section. Back here, nothing further for CN, no attempt at, for example, specialising. They were setting up other Churchills with Comet tanks. But there you go, machine up running here. I think Joe from going straight for the Cromwell with the Panzerjägers. Healing enforcement, no sign there of higher tiers. Although Blitz continues to go resource. He could try and move on to the fuel point just to get himself more fuel. But there you go. Oh, Cromwell pushed the fire head straight into the Panther Fast and the Panther Tech. But there you go, and the tank on the up still. Close to taking out the Cromwell, but he does lack some way of finishing it off here. In this regard, the punch is rather good at the burst damage. It's not really good in usually finishing things off. We've still got the machine gun blocking the way. Up north, CN here with a fresh assault, also laying down mines to make it harder for Jove to counterattack and move through the area. Very good. Closing in and being able to call in another Panther 4 here. In the south, sappers was the gunleaders and the officer. Sappers taking minor losses, Panther fighting northwards. Section routed, machine gun there close on eventually 2, 7 kills, very good. Back here, repairs are definitely needed there for CN.
We are losing a sector.
Obviously, if he goes for next, Jove is about to be able to go for another Panther 4. So repairs being enacted here, so we got the vehicle repairs going up. Nothing else happening with the enemies. Got a lot of options, but seems reluctant to go for them. Mortified against a section, Vickers anti-tank going up in the centre. Panther 4 being repaired up north. And there you go, second Panther 4 for Jove, and the 9th Panzer to be shown back 2 points wise. Jove still has a lead over CN, but it's a lot smaller now. Second Panther 4 still on the way. Bit of movement here, we got the section of sappers moving up. He machine guns suppressing the troops here. Continued aggressive movements, another play, just really showing just headbutting, but looking to outmaneuver the other fellow, looking to find a weak spot and then exploit it. Good high level play there. Panther Grenadiers on watch, half 8 of it to need 2. Panther 4 number 2 is almost done there for Joe, and the 9th Panzer Division on which point again sort of really begin amassing armoured forces and begin trying to crush his opponent more aggressively. There you go, straight in against the Panther 4 up north. Panther 4 bounces, Pioneers taking losses, second Panther 4 ready, should get that to back up the first one. Grenadiers march on into Panther faster, but yeah. CN backs off, probably sensing that could happen. CN can go for another Cromwell, of course he could plan for Fireflies, other stuff. 2-2 taking nicely up from the 6-pounder gun. And gets away with 2-2 just in time there, was very close. Could consider maybe calling in a silly on the section with the officer. But so far, not really, well he's used the hot smoke and the diversion with no sign of concentrated fire or the heavy mortar barrels as of yet. Cromwell taking a few nasty hits, sappers rushing through the south. Well, the south of the machine, but there you go. Panther, of course, can quickly deal with that. Pinmap machine gun being added, also very good. More Pioneers for Jove to help repair all of his armour is definitely an excellent decision. Finding here, oh, mortar could just getting taken out here by the huge lump of sections. CN has dispatched and Jove is rushing his other tank. Do deal with that alongside the first one. But the fuel has been cut off there. Nice play there by CN, leaving Jove a bit stumped. And CN goes for another Cromwell as well. So both players so far are focused on medium armor strategies. Nasty hits there. Back here, troops healing or reinforcing. Fixing up with 2-2. And there you go. Sappers was the Panther 4. Second Cromwell is almost down there for CN. At this stage, Jove might want to consider either bringing up Stoogs or taking for Panthers. You could also just go for more Panther Force, I suppose. Or try and stall for the Tiger tank. Noting, of course, he has to reset up the Umbral Blitz here, since if the point is cut off, it has to do that, since it doesn't just automatically reconnect. There we go. Jove is doing exactly that. 300 points left for Jove. It is now CN in the lead here with the Desert Rats. Cromwell fanging the Panther 4, nice work. Good finding the centre, but it is close to death here. Cromwell should likely take it out here with a single shot. And, oh, misses though. That's kind of lucky there for Jove. Smoke screen on the machine gun. Very nice work there by CN. Quick and efficient use of the smoke there. Grenadiers in the north, that's the tank. They're backed up by 6-pounder gun. Starting to wonder where the Panzers win what they're doing, because they haven't really seemed to have been doing much in the at this point of the game. Like, they help us with the EC obviously, but beyond that, he really hasn't had much luck catching up to the Cromwells with them and doing any kind of damage to CN's tanks. But looks like he might get a shot here at the Cromwell, doing some good damage. Though I do think he needs a large force here to sort of swing up behind the anti-tank clear and then push forwards with the panzer force from the front. Oh, Blitzball has not been redeployed. In the south, full retreat in the face of the Cromwell with a bit of infantry. Oh! Almost got the machine gun here. Could he take it out? Yes, he got it, but he's got no way of immediately recruiting it now unless he wants to throw away the grenadiers, which I do not think would be very helpful for Jove's long-term win. And we finally got north here, Pentafor versus Cromwell. All being fixed up rapidly here by Jove's Pioneers. Again, double Pioneers do a lot to speed up the repairs. And now we got CN with a third Cromwell here against Jove. Will Jove go for the other Pentafor? Will he go for Stooge? Will he go for the Tiger Tank? What will he be? But this is only turning into a larger scale armor battle here between these two players. With loads of mediums. There he goes, going to hit the mine, but he might be able to take out the Cromwell still. Yes, Cromwell down, ensuring that CN does not get an armor lead. He didn't take out the anti-tank here thanks to the officer. Again, could have boosted the tank's firepower with concentrated fire still. He could nab it or he could destroy it. Oh, well, he should probably make the decision soon. There he goes. He's going to think nab it here. Use it against... Or he could actually just get the officer again up to boost Panzer Force to just shoot fire against the Cromwell. Again, there's so much they can do. Instead, he pops diversion. 4 kills, half fate to Veteran 3. That's definitely not bad either. Panzer moving downwards here. Cromwell trying to escape, taking nasty hits here from something. I'm not entirely sure what. Obviously, they're routing the section almost. Closing Veteran 3. Panzer Force continues to hit versus Cromwell in the south. Could take it out here, which would be a huge advantage there for Jove, taking out both Cromwells there. But no, didn't quite here. Obviously, ends up losing out. He's not quite paying attention, allowing the section to build distance and shoot it from a slightly safer distance. Let's go there for Jove. Section almost taken out. Grabbing the northern victory point. Panther floating south. Let's see right in the section. Ooh, flanked here. 6-pounder gun barrel still out in the open. Oh, that's definitely a mistake there by Jove. Failed to do something with it until being called in as well here. Could risk losing the Panther 4 here. In fact, likely will. And there you go. Down it goes. That was definitely not the greatest move there, but Jove forgot about it, I think, in all the excitement. That's definitely a win there for CN, meaning he now has the tank advantage over Jove. Jove, though, is not far away from the Tiger tank. Roughly 2 more minutes and he'll have it. But can he hold on against the British Armoured Storm for so long? Watch and find out. He could possibly speed up the process with the second Noble Blitz, maybe on the fuel point itself. At which point he'd definitely get a lot more fuel, and that would speed up the Tiger tank acquisition by a notable bit.
We are losing a sector.
Though it's not necessary.
We have 200 points remaining.
Picking up the Panther 4, getting close to 22, very good. Section here close to being taken care of if CN is not careful. Lots of damage being dealt there by the Grenadiers with the light machine guns and rifle grenades. Push for the centre.
The enemy is taking our territory.
And Jove, by the way, lost his Panzerjägers. So it looks like no, the Panzerjägers were dropped, which is small relief here. Still pretty bad he lost his Panzerjägers. That further decreases the amount of anti-tank fire he can bring to bear against CN and all of his Cromwells until he gets out the Tiger tank. But we're roughly a minute away from it now. Roughly a minute away. We've got a pack forward to make up for the lack of Panzerjägers until then. That should help, though he's not at risk being cut off from the fuel, which of course would increase the amount of time he needs to get out the Tiger tank. Joe's sending much more defensive as a CN now. Pinned to the wall here, and there he goes. Pack 40 arriving there for Jove for Germany. Big 2 points wise, it's 316 versus 180. Mortify landing a nice hit, and I'll be looking at about 2 minutes before you can get out a Tiger tank from 1 minute because the fuel was cut off there. Not good. No summer specialization there from CN. No hammer, no anvil tactics. Good, Rick. Ah, Pack missed the Cromwell. What a shame. Panther the game 22. That's good. That's good for CN. CN striking with the second cromwell at other points. They're trying to force Jove to have to worry about more than one spot, and that way decrease the strength of his main attack, which is not a bad idea. But Jove is on the offensive here, or he's trying to get on the offensive versus CN and the 7th Armoured Division. Southern victory point secured. Blitz has been moved southward to secure the point here, that way gain resources. 223. So he's back to just about a minute. A little less than that. Panzer pushing away the section in 9 kills for the fatherland. Very close to the target tank. We're talking seconds now. Seconds. CN not going for additional cromwells, but nothing further going on in the base. He's expecting the target tank, but no, he should figure out that Joe's going for assault support, and thus that's the option with the target tank, which means, of course, if he's suddenly not adding anything else, a target tank is very likely, and there we go. Target tank out here for Jove. Germany. Deutschland. Second 6-pounder gun on the way here for CN. No Fireflies, interestingly enough. Instead, I do believe it is indeed a specialization. It's going to be anvil tactics. Smoke down here. Gilman's going for the centre victory point. Troops heading northwards here. Machining about a section there. Trying to hide out. Instead, he managed to put himself as a nice bunched up target of the Panzer. Could you wipe here? Could you wipe? And exactly that's what happened. Bit of a blow there to CN. A victory for Jove and the German army. Time to move up here with pack support towards the centre. Small chance of getting wiped in the section, but not guaranteed. Instead, blows up a fat chunk of the church. Fight for the south here between Grenadiers and the section. Officer there with 7 kills and veteran 3. Grenadiers versus the sappers backed up with a Cromwell, need to retreat. So I imagine CN will be going for a Churchill tank as soon as possible. Unless he's suddenly decided otherwise. Nope, he's still going for anvil there. He has gone for it. Oh, we got the officer calling an artillery. Very nice. Strafing run ready. Oh, he called in off smoke as well in the position himself. So a nice little combo there by Jove. 6-pounder gun has the mine go off next to it. Almost could take it out here with the target tank. Penetrating hit here from the 6-pounder gun on the target tank's 100mm thick armor. Unsloped. Alright, decides to pull back here. Fine, picking up north from there, swinging in here. Infantry not quite following pace. Panzer 4's good to go again. Target tank is down to less than half health. That's a lot less good here. Could risk losing the target tank, which would be disastrous at this stage. Disastrous. Panzer 4 moving in there. Oh, target tank bouncing the shot. Pretty lucky there. It's probably one of the few shots that actually have bounced off the target tank's arm. But there you go. Taking out. That was not a good target tank there for Jove. Was, I think, a bit mishandled here. Took too many shots from the 6-pounder gun for free. That is for the anti-tank for free. Without doing enough damage here. So that could have been handled, I think, a bit better there by Jove. Huge loss there in resources for Jove. I mean, that's just 230 of fuel down the drain. He's going to have time getting that back. Sappers have been totally murdered. Anti-tank grenade on the Panzer 4. Fighting in the centre here. We got 101 versus 303. Going to be close here. Troops are healing, reinforcing. Artillery called in here by CN to further disrupt Jove's defences. Not bad, not bad. Jove has now access, of course, also fragmentation bombs and whatnot, so we consider that. We got the Churchill tank on the way there for CN, and Jove's going to need more than a Panzer 4 to, I think, stop that. He's going for Panther grenadiers, might be planning Panther attacks again, but he's going to need some serious firepower to stop the Churchill tank. Stooks could be an idea. What a Panther. Definitely, there's something has to happen there before it's too late. Fight over the centre. And he's almost taking out the section. You need to be careful. 24 kills versus 7 and 2. Churchill almost done there. Also finding with a section of close, and there you go, diversion again, tearing that section apart there with the MP40s and the Luger. He may need some artillery to soften up the Tommies there by the victory point. Or some more support. But will you go for it? Or is he just going to try and get close and shoot them to bits? And he's going to just try and get close and shoot them to bits. But the problem is they're taking too much damage before they get close enough. And that's going to be retreat. They're a bit of waste of manpower by Jove. Fight for the centre in the south. Bit of a standoff. Well, nothing happening really. Actually, it's not in a standoff. Counter force sitting out close to the east level. That's going to be very helpful there for Jove, but it's obviously not going to compensate for lost the Tiger like he lost it. But the Churchill tank is on the move. That's going to require Stooge. There you go. Panzer X flying. One penetrates. The other one seems to do nothing there. Still should be able to do some damage here with the Panzerstrex. There we go. Churchill tank is taking heavy damage. But probably can't push it much longer there with the Panzerjägers, and has to retreat them in the face of the Churchill tank. Instead of continuing to rain down in the centre, house shattered. Nothing but dust and rubble. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Counter force very close to the ace level.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Sandbags in the centre, going to use the Mikkel's machine gun, closing in on Bet 22. Ten kills, veteran 3. Smoke screen down here to cause us tanks are repaired. Seems a bit excessive though to call in vehicle crew repairs on a tank that is barely damaged. That seems rather luxurious. Good lords, Reginald, the tank's been damaged. Look at that, the paint job's chipped. Best call in some vehicle smoke to get it all fixed up. Right you are, Sir Percival. Anyways, Canadians have moving up, or Pioneers moving up here, taking heavy damage from the Cromwell tank. Up north, Panther 4 about to face off against the Churchill tank. There we go, nice hit, gaining the ace level. Sappers are backing up, noting pulls heavy Sappers here for CN, making them tough and more heavily armed, equipped. Pack 40 shoot bounces, Panther 4 taking some hits. Panzerjägers strictly moving up as well to support. Panther 4 down to half health. Churchill is also roughly down to half health. Pioneers routed. Heavy damage on the Churchill tank. Very good there for Jove. Less good for CN, and there goes support called in. The Luftwaffe strikes, pinning down the sappers. Fight for the south, there's a Crom flank in there going for the officer. Nice work there by CN.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Panzer Force going to need some repairs, and I think Jove is just stalling for another Tiger tank. Prominent's going to wrap past the Panzerjägers. Quite heavily damaged already, but there you go, smoke shield off to cover up the retreat against the Panzerjägers. Very nice. 49 points left for Jove. This is going to be very close there. He needs to do something soon. 48. Churchill being self-repaired. Panzer dealing with the sappers. 21 kills, very good. Panzerjägers pack 40 going for the Churchill. He could Panzer fast and course shoot it for the smoke, I guess. Churchill or Cromwell tank there trying to sort of stop things going on here, but the problem is getting too close and could likely go down here. Perhaps a bit of a bad call there by CN. Still, he's doing a lot of damage to the Panzerjägers. So we got quite a few, but may not be enough. Sort of repairs over, and the Churchill is not moving. There you go. Oh, the Cromwell got abandoned. Panzer fast off there. I think it's just going to destroy it. There we go. Otherwise, I imagine CN would have destroyed it, just to be sure. In the centre here, we got machine being assaulted by CN's infantry. We're still at 45 until 97. Panther 4 moving in, halfway to death. Another Cromwell away there for CN. No more attempted Churchill finales. He's got quite confident in the one he has. Jove is very close to the Tiger tank. So close, in fact. Matter of seconds, really. Finding on the southern victory point here. 39, 38 officers moving in. Smoke called. Oh, artillery called in actually, and then he stops in right in his own artillery barrage. Still, Tommies were routed. Cromwell almost done. Tiger tank is almost ready here for Joe to be called in. The second one that is, and hopefully that one does a bit better. In fact, hopefully does at least almost as well as the Panzer 4. But there you go, second Tiger tank.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Anti-tank hanging back. Churchill sitting out. Cromwell sitting out. Penal mount machine on the Tiger tank, very good. Adds infantry, which is actually pretty good. Push for the sap, there's a tank nearby. There you go, Tiger tank was the second. Church is about to hit the flank though. Panzerjägers are elsewhere. Pack 4 of those nearby to support if it comes down to it. Churchill's going to go for the swift flank, but there you go, we got the Panther already nearby. Could turn into a bit of a disaster here for CN. Pack 40 is not turning back to deal with this Churchill threat. Finding on the centre point here. Churchill tank lost a quarter back, actually I think a third of its health here. Obviously just defending the victory point. Then we got the anti-tank running up the Panther 4. Pack 40 is just hanging back. Finding on the south here versus the Churchill tank, lacking any weapons to deal with this, rushing in the Panzerjägers to deal with that. Artillery called in here on the position by the officer. Churchill advancing again. Anti-tank cleared up the section, that's not good. In the south, the Churchill's falling back here, so the Panzerjägers are slowly moving in. Panther 4 needs to get out of there. Schnell, Jove, schnell! Churchill tank is heavily damaged. Here we got anti-tanks over on the Tiger tank as well, forcing it back alongside the Panther 4. He's obviously not going to quite intend to lose another one. 38 though, he's got all 3 victory points versus 258 there from CN, who's got none of the victory points. So this is looking to be pretty close. In terms of force size, they are roughly matched there. 81 versus 88. Jove has a slightly in that sense larger force. But they should be sort of roughly the same size. Oh, Panzer still landing off some nice hits, gaining victory 2. Churchill is very low in health. Centre victory being seized here. I think another push from the north of the Grenadiers remaining very vigilant in service of Deutschland. Sabers there trying to pull it with flamethrowers and Vickers K machine guns. Going to get out of the car, so we're going to hammer away. Pioneers working on the Tiger tank. Oh, artillery fire raining down in the centre here as CN is moving ahead. 228 versus the 38 Jove has left. Up north here, Sappers almost down to the Grenadiers. Odie getting out of cover. Should have given a chance to take that. They go down to just one man. And there we go. Successful defended. Very close one there for Joe up north. Centre victory point. We can see CN is actually falling back, not wanting to lose any forces. Now he's got a victory point enough. There's no point in sort of dying pointlessly. For the crown, at least not yet. So rather than take unnecessary risks and risk handing over the fight to Jove, CN just retracts his forces for now and tries to build up for a better attack or defence. Whatever he needs. Panzer 4 being repaired. No take of that. Most I think he'd now go for a Stug. Even then he can't. Costs too much pop cap. Grabbing the centre victory point with the Grenadiers. Grabbing the northern munitions. Tiger tank again halfway to a veteran G1. Section machine gun up. Got Panzerjägers on watch here. Backed up with a machine gun. There we go, heavy damage on the Cromwell, 1/3 of the health shaved off nicely. 209 versus 38. Machine gun suppressing respective infantry there around the southern victory point. Of course, with the target of the Cromwell there in the south, CN very much has an advantage by the southern victory point in the centre though. A bit more back and forth. We see here, Joe is being routed as CN launches another assault to throw back the Germans. Panther 1 being about here, backed up by the pack. Oh, the Panther 1's actually abandoned, never mind. Machine's about to be cleared out. Ace machines one, there you go. Panther 4 splitting and going for the Cromwell. There you go, direct hit, almost got the Cromwell in fact. Could take it out, that'd be sending quite a blow here to CN. Oh, missed though, he missed. Does not pursue. Titan got in the centre, finding out the Churchill. Nothing else to support it. Pack 40 from the crew, but might not last much longer here. Tiger tank with 2 kills. Panther 4 doing the machine in the south, and the anti-tank crew expires once more. Machine gun though is taken out here by the Panther 4 in the south section, there's the Panther 4 as well. 29 kills. Got the officer moving up here. Artillery called down. Officer might as well call down artillery on the point. Churchill eventually too. What we'll see go for next. More Cromwells, Fireflies, Churchill tanks. It's got the options, but so far not exercising. Also worth noting, no sign of land mattresses. Maybe it's just Jove's armor that's causing the battle, he just doesn't feel it. But I mean, in some ways, I do feel like Jove would be an easy target for the land mattress, and he does have some support weapons. He does have some aerial fighting around a lot, so you know, land mattresses could help CN there. 25 points left for Jove here, though. It's starting to get really dicey for the German army. Meanwhile, CN is getting ever closer to the victory. You can almost taste it. Targeting down to half health. Don't throw it away, Joe. Don't throw it away. Needs the blitz. I think he's going to lose another Tiger tank. Scheiße. And there you go. Another Tiger tank down. Not good there. Not good. Smoketion on the Pack 40. Very nice work there. Fight for the south here with the Panther still nearby. 30 kills. 191 versus 20. Chrome trying to come up on the flank. Mistakes get met there with the Pack 40. Machine gun bowler still not recruited by anyone. Cromwell back to dust, another Cromwell out here for CN. And of course still got the Churchill tank machine, a lot of repairs. 6 kills, better than 2. Will Jove try and go for another Tiger tank? I guess he will. I guess he will. Definitely not what I would advise though. Oh, never mind, he's going for a Panther 4. I think that might be a bit more helpful with only 20 points left. I think trying to stall for a Tiger tank here would be a bit silly. Another option would be at least a Stug to help deal with the Churchill tank. Right, he made off for the Vickers machine gun. Nice work there. All machine guns, of course, help those of the British infantry. Churchill moving in there. There you go, Pack 40 shoots. Could try and go for target weak point here. We can start up the Churchill versus some other anti-tank weapons that could help Jove taking it out. Smoke called in to cover against any assaults in the centre. Very nice work there. There you go, second Panther up for Jove and the 9th Panther is shown. 136 versus 20 victory points. And artillery called in here by the officer on the 6-pounder gun. Heavy mortar fire being called in. That is not doing a lot there. I mean, it did some damage, but no casualties. Up north here, continue defense at the northern victory point. Rush for the centre here, Churchill on it, they can't quite grab it. Pack 40 nearby. In the south, Churchill moving in here. We got machine guns and Panzerjägers nearby. It's going to need some more support to help, I think, deal with the Cromwell tank there. Smoke's been called in here. Nice work there by CN. 20 versus 106. Could Jove actually win this? It's starting to look like a comeback here. And CN's forces are starting to run into a few issues. We've got the Panther on the scene though. Panzerjägers holding back. Churchill moving out in the centre. Up north, munitions point being seized by CN's forces. Noting still no land matches or commandos at all. Again, I would have figured land matches, at least some commandos could have been helpful for CN. But so far, nothing there. 83 versus 20. Churchill tank taking heavy damage. There you go. Pack 4 has been cleared out by the section. Panther 1 number 2 moving in here. Ace Panther 4 is trying to escape here. Oh, close one there. Losing the Ace Panther 4 to the Churchill, I think, would be a crucial loss there for Jove. Still, he's on the victory point 6, but I'm going to clear it out. That's actually a bit of loss to the CN. And the South almost got the point. He's trying to escape with the Panther 4 here. He's keeping the Churchill on a wild goose chase here. And looks like he does get away with it. Close one there for Jove. 68 versus 20. This is going to be a very close finish here between Jove and CN. CN could probably still win this if he sort of routes correctly, but it sounds down to look like Jove has slowly managed to chip himself way to a decent chance of actually winning this. Finish this section, Panther 4 moving up. And another Cromwell there for CN. Some of the medium tanks this fight. Panther 4s are both half health, but there you go. Churchill by his ace level, but it's also low on health. $57 versus 20. Tank and anti-tank and anchored around the southern point with the sapper section as well. 11 kills on the officer. smoke called in. None too shabby. But there you go. Seeing extends to crumble from the south to put more pressure on Joe's flank, knowing if he just sits and wait that he might risk losing to a counterattack. Plus, he's down to just 50 points now versus Jove's 20. More crumbles for seeing. More crumbles for the 7th Army, the Desert Rats. 47 versus 20. Tanks heading northwards here. Can he break through Jove's defences here? Panzer, of course, could be sent northwards to assist there. But there you go, the assault commences. The East Churchill. They're not even fully repaired because Joe knows, or Sin knows he can't wait for the longest moves in. First, taking a lot of damage here from the Panzer Force. One down to half health. He's focusing down there, but the Churchill's getting focused down here. Ace Panzer Force flying out at close range. Oh, shot bounced, shot bounced. Panzer Force misses up close. Oh, but the Churchill missed, hard to say, but there you go. Panzer Force off. Panzer Force bounces off the rear of the Churchill close range. Another bounce. Oh, scheisse. Sabres rushing the point here. 37 versus 20. Another bounce. Finally takes out the bloody Churchill tank. Bounces off a Cromwell head here. Grenadiers moving up. Panzer IV misses the Churchill. Sections nearby. 32 kills. Penetrating hit there. Bounces off the Cromwell's armor. That is some really bad luck here for Jove. Penetrating hit here. 16 versus 37. Oh dear. Panzer IV's off here. Another hit on the Cromwell. Panzer IV could go down to any penetrating hit here. Builds up distance. Good miss. Fight over the centre point here. Grenadiers, Panzerjägers versus the Cromwell. Artillery fire raining down. Joe could end up calling another attack. We've got 12 30 37. Pack 40 shooting. Shoots, misses. Cromwell's going in here. Panzerjägers routed. 10 points left. And got the Cromwell. Grenadiers versus the section north taking out 7 versus 37. Scheiße! 6 versus 37. Panzer IV aces down. He needs to reinforce everything and get moving. Holy smokes. 3 versus 37. 2 versus 37. If only they had a Stug. 2 still. Panzerjäger's landing a nice hit in the Churchill. Less half health. Troops still reinforcing, needs more armor out. Now I think he's trying to stall for another TIE tank, he's just too preoccupied. I think actually rushing at half to just to quickly move out the troops would be a good idea. Infantry rushing for the northern victory point, rushing for the southern one with his only anti-tank gun. Cromwell down, Cromwell down. There's one around though, still about, going for the base here of Jove. Bomb grenade on all the banks of infantry. Anti-tank moving up to contest the southern point. Need to get the officer close to clear out the anti-tank and swiftly. Maybe pop diversion shot to boost him. 37 versus 2 still. Oh dear, he's going to lose this, I think. Looking close though, and there you go. That is it, I think. GG. Oh, all the points are rendered neutral. Maybe, maybe. Nope. Nope, 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 never mind. There we go, GG, game over. 37 points. Jove almost had it. It was so close, but one valiant last charge here from Creative Name turned the tide around and won him the game here. Absolutely bloody slaughter here in the Kholodny Ferma between two highly skilled players. Lots of interesting plays here from both sides. Jove handling the early game nicely, getting pushed back in the centre again, and then late game was almost there with a full comeback, but in the end, dashed apart there by CN. Getting a bit lucky there with the Churchill, but then again, where were the Stugs, Joe? Where were the Stugs? The Sturmgeschütz. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. It gave you the history on matches, something to emulate or at least improve upon. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. And if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon to support me in my endeavour to educate the world about the glory of company heroes. So, do consider throwing in $1 or $2 there. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers. Thank you for watching. You all are a wonderful audience, and hope to see you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.